fortunately for us, we work with the Magistrates Commission, we work with the regional court presidents, as well as the chief magistrates, as well as the court managers in all courts around the country. So we have arranged for appointments of acting magistrates to ensure that those cases that the magistrates that are taking part in the strikes intended to postpone are proceeded with, which is why we have acting appointments. And also we have court managers at hand available to ensure that people, that is members of the public who are there to get legal services from the court personnel are not disturbed.
But having said that, those are temporary measures, and we've heard from the association, the Judicial Officers Association, that this week perhaps just the beginning. The intensification will be next week. It means that a solution has got to be found, a permanent solution has got to be found.
It has got to be found, Conan, but you must remember that we're dealing with people here who know very well that what they're doing is illegal, and they've also considered that they're also embarrassed by what they're doing, and they know the impact or the implications of this, because in the event that there are massive disruptions, which we are hoping it won't come to that, there may be disciplinary action by the Magistrates Commission, and that may lead to impeachment by Parliament. But we are on the sidelines continuing to discuss with them so that we can find an amicable solution to the matter. But you're also aware, Kolane, that the issue of salaries of magistrates, as well as the conditions of employment or any issues that they have, are addressed by the Magistrates Commission. They're also addressed by the Independent Remuneration Commission for Office Bearers. So, which is a process that is ventilated through constitutionally established structures which are in Parliament, which is why now we have 5%, which is ready to be implemented.
All right. It's a long process, it appears to me, that needs to be undertaken in order to deal with their grievance. But tell me whether or not the first steps are being taken, because it appears you've got to change legislatively. What are the changes that are required in order for the magistrates to be on the same scale as the judges?
Look, Kolani, there is a process of engagement at all levels to ensure that we have a single judiciary. But what we are complaining about is the disparity between the salaries of the magistrates and those of the judges, which is a matter that is engaged on. But obviously, there's a consultative process that has to go on. You can't just address that without taking into account the financial implications of that and whether or not it is indeed necessary and valid to do that. It needs to be well motivated. There has to be those consultative processes which are ongoing, and magistrates know very well. But when you are now held at ransom with this aggressive stance that says we are down in tools, and at the same time people say, okay, fine, let's talk, then what kind of motivation is that, and what kind of
but is that a fair thing? Advocate Mhaga, but is that a fair comment on your part? Because it's not the first time that they've raised these issues. In fact, I think, was it last year where they were about to go on strike, but there was some sort of an agreement reached, then they pulled back?
Of course, there are processes in Parliament, Tonani, which are underway, and those processes, they know very well that those structures are structures that are designed to do that, and whatever consultative processes that have been undertaken throughout are still unfolding, which is why we're taken aback by the stance that they've adopted, which has those implications that I've just narrated.
Just a quick and final question. You're talking about illegality. So what are you going to do? Are you going to arrest those who go on strike?
The regional court president, the chief magistrate, who are monitoring the court proceedings in the event that there are disruptions which may amount to misconduct on their part. They know very well that is a matter that can lead to them being subjected to disciplinary action by the Magistrate Commission, which can lead or may lead to impeachment by Parliament if established.